Right now, as you're watching this, your past self from 10 seconds ago still exists. Not as a memory, not as a recording, but as a living, breathing version of you, frozen in a moment that's just as real as this one. And your future self? The one who finishes watching this video? They're already there, waiting for your consciousness to catch up. Because what if time isn't flowing at all? What if it's you that's moving through something that's already completely, perfectly, eternally finished? This isn't philosophy. It's physics. And if it's true, it changes everything about death, free will, and what it means to be alive. The question isn't whether time exists. It's whether you understand what you're actually moving through. So before we dive deeper, pause for a second. Can you feel time passing right now? Or are you just experiencing something else? In 1905, a 26-year-old patent clerk named Albert Einstein was walking through Bern, Switzerland, when he had a thought that would shatter humanity's relationship with reality. He imagined himself riding alongside a beam of light and asked, "What would I see?" That single question led to the most revolutionary idea in physics. Time is not universal, but Einstein didn't stop there. His mathematics professor, Hermann Minkowski, took Einstein's work and made an even bolder claim in 1908. Henceforth, space by itself and time by itself are doomed to fade away into mere shadows, and only a kind of union of the two will preserve an independent reality. Think about that for a moment. Space and time aren't separate things. They're one thing, space-time. But what does that actually mean? Here's your first clue that time is stranger than you think. Right now, your head is aging faster than your feet. Not metaphorically, literally. The gravity from Earth's core pulls harder on your feet than your head, and that tiny difference slows time down by about 90 billionths of a second per day. We've tested this with atomic clocks so precise they can detect time differences smaller than a heartbeat. In 1971, physicists Haffel and Keating flew atomic clocks around the world on commercial airliners. When they landed, the flying clocks had lost 273 nanoseconds compared to the ground-based clocks. Time literally ran slower in the sky. Haffel later described the moment they first saw the results. "We looked at each other and realized we had just proven that time isn't what we thought it was. It was terrifying and exhilarating." He said it felt like discovering gravity doesn't pull things down. It warps the fabric of reality itself. But here's what's really wild. If time can slow down and speed up, what exactly is it? Is it like a river flowing at different speeds? Or is it something else entirely? Now imagine this. You're 20 years old and you board a spaceship traveling at 99.9% the speed of light. You fly to Proxima Centauri, our nearest star, and back. The journey takes you 2 years. You return to Earth at age 22. But everyone you left behind? They've aged 56 years. Your friends are dead. Your children are older than you. If time's an illusion, it's certainly a persistent one, especially when it comes to missing your high school reunion by half a century. This led physicist Julian Barbour to a radical conclusion: time doesn't flow at all. In his 1999 book, The End of Time, Barbour argues that time is an illusion created by our brains trying to make sense of a static universe. Imagine reality as a vast sculpture. Every moment that ever was or ever will be already exists, carved into the fabric of space-time itself. This is called the block universe theory, and it's supported by Einstein's equations. In relativity, there's no universal now. What you consider the present moment is completely different from someone moving relative to you. If there's no universal present, then past and future are just directions, like up and down. Stop and think about this. If your past self still exists somewhere in the block universe, are they aware? Are they experiencing their moment just as vividly as you're experiencing yours? And here's where it gets even stranger. In 2023, researchers at MIT's Center for Theoretical Physics, led by Professor Aram Harrow, began testing whether time itself might emerge from quantum entanglement. They're using quantum simulators to see if time is like temperature, not a fundamental property, but something that emerges from deeper quantum interactions. The National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy are both funding this research, recognizing its potential to revolutionize our understanding of reality. Meanwhile, Carlo Rovelli at the Centre de Physique Théorique in France, supported by the European Research Council, has proposed that time doesn't exist at the fundamental level at all. According to loop quantum gravity, his theory, the universe at its smallest scale is made of discrete loops of space, and time only appears when you zoom out, like pixels forming a smooth image on your screen. If time is an illusion, what does that mean for free will? If your future already exists in the block universe, are your choices predetermined? Or are you choosing which path through the block to take? Philosopher of physics Tim Maudlin argues that block time doesn't eliminate free will. It just moves it from choosing what happens to choosing what you experience. And death? If time is an illusion, death isn't an ending. It's just a boundary. Your entire life, from birth to death, exists eternally in the block universe. Einstein comforted a friend who lost someone close by, writing, "People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." But not everyone agrees. Presentist philosophers like Arthur Pryor and modern physicists like Lee Smolin argue that only the present moment is real. They point to quantum mechanics, where measurement seems to collapse possibilities into a single reality in real time. How can the future be fixed if quantum events are truly random? Smolin, at the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics, argues that time is fundamental and that the block universe fails to account for the genuine novelty we observe in quantum mechanics and biological evolution. Here's a thought experiment. If you could prove definitively that either presentism or the block universe is true, which would you want it to be? A universe where only this moment is real, or one where every moment you've ever lived still exists somewhere? And there's an even stranger possibility. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, like many worlds, suggest that all possible futures exist simultaneously across infinite parallel universes. In this view, championed by physicists like Sean Carroll at Caltech and funded by the Foundational Questions Institute, time isn't just an illusion. It's a dimension we're constantly branching through, creating new realities with every quantum event. Every choice you don't make is made by another version of you somewhere else. So here's what we know. Time dilation is real. The block universe explains relativity perfectly. Quantum mechanics might emerge from timeless laws. And the greatest minds in physics are actively questioning whether time, as we experience it, exists at all. Think about a decision you made today. In a block universe, both versions of you, the one who chose A and the one who chose B, might both exist. Which one is the real you? What does this mean for you? Maybe you're not running out of time, you're exploring it. Maybe your childhood isn't gone. It's still happening in another part of the block. Maybe every moment of joy, every moment of love, every moment of discovery exists forever in the eternal sculpture of space-time. But here's the ultimate question. If your entire life already exists, from beginning to end, carved into the structure of reality itself, does knowing that change how you want to live it? Does it make each moment more precious because it's eternal? Or less precious because it's predetermined? I want to know what you think. If you could see your entire life laid out like a map, every choice, every consequence, every ending, would you look? Or would you rather keep experiencing it one moment at a time? If this made you question everything you thought you knew about existence, subscribe to Theory Spark. Because if time is an illusion, we might as well spend it exploring the most mind-bending ideas in the universe. This is Theory Spark.